Hey everyone, it's Erin from Lady P Collective, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Sorry, this is too funny. I am about to move, and so I am sitting here trying to get some peace and quiet with my coffee, and my phone is literally on one of my dogs resting. That is how I'm doing this video. Yes, so that is what kind of headspace I'm in right now. So I'm just gonna go with it because this is real life and I want to show as much of real life as possible. So I thought today I would just talk about just ways to help de-stress, because as we all know, I have anxiety and a little bit of depression. And I think a lot of us now have experienced anxiety and depression. I think depending on where you live, it's January and February. I don't know why. It's like from the holidays, it's a little, I don't know, it's just like a little depressing. And it's winter and COVID numbers are high and kids, some are in school, some aren't. It's just a lot. And like I said, I'm moving as well. I will update you on that. That's super exciting, but stressful. There's just a lot going on. And that's the thing. If you have anxiety or depression or just honestly being an adult, even the good and exciting things come with a lot of stress, right? Because we want to keep growing and bettering ourselves and putting up boundaries and do all these things, but it's stressful. And I think there's some good and bad stress, but either way, for me, when my anxiety gets revved up or my nervous system does, it kind of has that snowball effect. So things keep adding to it, and I'll just get to the point where I feel just stuck and I don't want to do much, or mentally and physically, I'm just fatigued. And then that stresses me out even more, that I'm not doing much and that I'm trying to balance everything. And just saying it now does that too. So stresses me out. And I think other people feel that way. And so I just wanted to go over again more ways that almost on a daily basis that we can do that have helped me, right? So first off, I want to say that a lot of these things I do daily just because they're part of healthy habits that I want to maintain, because I get very black and white with things. I could get very into health and really taking care of myself and self-care, and then it could go to the opposite end. It's very hard for me to do in the middle. And I have found the only way that things stick is if I do the little things every day, right? Like the lifestyle changes. Because if I wait till I'm really anxious to start implementing some of these things, it's not gonna have the same effect. I have to kind of get ahead of it. So with that being said, one of the first things I like to do in the morning is try to just breathe when I wake up. Not jump out of bed right away, but just take a few deep breaths. Nothing big, just deep breath and let it out. And tell myself that whatever kind of day I'm having, it's gonna be okay, I'm gonna get through it, right? I think self-talk, I do it all the time. It is great, it's amazing, and it's really helpful. And I think in the morning, I get anxiety, and at night. So if you're like me, just telling yourself it's gonna be okay, you can handle it, a few deep breaths are very, very helpful. I try not to look at my phone, but I'm not great with that, but I at least try to do that. I sit up. I know a lot of people don't have the time to do that, or they don't work from home and they just in a rush. But for me, even if I have to get up a little earlier, it is worth it. And I just kind of close my eyes and breathe. And usually I put my hand on my heart, and I will also stretch. If you get older, you know, like just stretching, it feels so good. I'll stretch my arms, I'll stretch my neck, do some neck rolls. All of this takes anywhere from 30 seconds to a few minutes. And I think it starts your day off really well. And if I do have time and I've been more conscious of doing that, I will keep, I always keep paper and pen by my bedside, but I will take the paper and just either write down some thoughts I'm having or just what I'm grateful for, anything. Even if it's literally 20 seconds of writing, I usually don't write for more than 3 or 4 minutes, but it just helps ground me. And that kind of starts my day off. And that helps my anxiety. It helps me, know that I'm already taking deep breaths. On other days, I would be like, oh, let's like meditate a little bit. But that's been really hard for me, and that's not really always feasible. So the deep breaths, maybe writing down some stuff, just stretching is so big and helpful. So that's kind of the morning routine. And then during the day, I always take some time to just sit with my hand on my chest and just breathe. Even if I can't close my eyes and do it, breathing is so important. And I tell myself positive things because I have to remind myself that. And sometimes I tell myself to just breathe. And then I've talked about this a little bit in a post, but I started to do that where you imagine just being very protected, right? Because with anxiety, with trauma, with other things, you don't always feel safe, right? And sometimes you're not in the position to feel safe. And I don't always mean physical safety. You just feel off and just not very grounded. And for me, I imagine just my dogs, or even protective dogs, or your favorite animals, or whoever, just guarding your space and protecting you and reminding you that you're safe, that you don't have to worry about other people. And that might sound a little odd, or what do you mean you don't feel safe? But with anxiety, there's moments where you're just so on edge and your system doesn't have time to regulate. So closing my eyes and reminding myself that I'm not in an unsafe place in my mind or physically, that I'm protected, that I am capable of protecting myself, just brings a little bit of ease. And that's really, really helped me out kind of throughout the day as well. I'd also say taking time to rest, and that doesn't mean it has to be in your bed or a full-on nap. It just means when there's time to take a break, try to take a break. And that's the hardest for me because I could be in my bed taking a break, but really my mind is just spinning. So it's making sure that you can stand, sit, it doesn't matter where you are, and to just shut down your mind a little bit. Sorry, that's my other dog that's under the blankets. I'm trying to just make do with what's going on right now. But yes, just taking that time to just rest your mind, right? Just I think it does work when just like having a focal point, naming the things that you can see, that you can hear, that you can smell, any of your senses. Any of that is really helpful for me. Any sensory type of things that I could do help relax me. That's also really helpful during this. And then again, writing down things. I think to-do lists, I don't like to call them to-do lists. I mean, they are something to do, but just writing down stuff that allows you to remember what you have to do, as well as other areas of your life, not just running errands and all the busy stuff, but just you have to write down the important self-care stuff. You have to write down the boundaries, and that's helpful as well, because then it doesn't have to be up in your mind all the time, or it's not set on your phone as an alarm that's just like, oh, I have to do this. I kind of loosely write down stuff that's important, like, calling somebody, a friend, taking time for me, taking time for the kids, for the dog, for my business, then errands, and again, the good, the exciting, but also the mundane things, and then stuff that I put off. And I like to try to focus and be like, this is stuff I've been putting off, just do it. do it as early as you can, get it over with, check it off. There's something so satisfying about doing that. So those are just some of the things I wanted to quickly come on here and share with you that have helped me. And there's a lot more. You can check out my page. Here's my self-promotion. You can check out my Instagram or Facebook at Lady B Collective. And you can see other ways to lessen your anxiety as well. Or you can check out other YouTubes at Lady B Collective. I have my podcast. You can see all that at ladybcollective.com. And that's it for now. So remember, you are worthy, you are capable, you are enough. That is so cheesy, but even saying that to yourself and reminding you and yourself that whatever state you're in, right? This took me so long, but just to try to be yourself, whatever state that is. It doesn't have to be dressed up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could just be you, right? People want to hear the authentic. You want to be as authentic as you can. And that we're all a work in progress, and that nobody's perfect. And to be gentle with ourselves and others and keep learning and trying. And that's it. So I will talk to you next week, and I hope you enjoy your Wednesday. God, I had to think about that. So I will talk to you later. Bye.